Welcome back to the show. Shane Ellis theory in slow motion. We got a supply shock coming, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and DigPerspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $3.41 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off 0.8%. Bitcoin, 107,000 plus. Ethereum, 2,400 plus. XRP, $2.19. We see the market is up for XRP 0.7 on the 24 and up 3% on the 7-day. Range of price very quickly here between 221 and 217. We will keep an eye on it as we move forward. But what I want to tell you about right now is this very quickly here. It is that DAI and myself have teamed up with iTrustCapital. That's right. And listen, I've been with iTrustCapital probably 6 years now, and I am super loving what I'm doing with them. I love my IRA. You will love your IRA. You can flip over your 401k, 403b, and so much more. Please check it out before the greatest bull run in the world. And then you could put in a tax deferred or tax, no tax, however you do it, whether it's a SEP or a Roth, you could put it in there and get the best advantage before this bull run hits. Think of that for a moment for yourself. It's unbelievable. But now they have these new premium custody accounts. And let me just say to you, exchanges and wallet platforms are the prime targets for hackers and phishing attacks because of the hot wallet nature. Think about how many emails and texts and even calls you get when someone pretending to be your crypto company. But that doesn't happen at iTrustCapital because with cold wallet institutional storage, you don't get those same attacks on the daily. Listen, if you're looking for carefree institutional crypto storage, iTrustCapital is the ticket. There's no question about it. And it really is. And all you have to do is click on it and start checking it out and see for yourself. And there's a great code at the bottom. But you just go to iTrustCapital.com/XRP Army and use the code XRP6. Or just simply click any link under any video. It's the first link you see under any title of our videos. Don't mess around. Click that link and get started today. Here we see big news. This is big news, by the way. Shout out to Cody Carbone, the president of the Digital Chamber, who's been crushing it and crushed it on stage at XRP Las Vegas 25, by the way. But reminding all of us that the Federal Reserve is dropping vague reputational risk from bank exams, green light for banks to serve crypto clients without fear of being penalized for image concerns. No question about it. And this was used to debank a lot of businesses and people. And dropping the reputational risk portion is going to be very big to open up the banks again. And here's Jerome Powell to say just as much.
Crypto space. So our view is that banks get to decide who their customers are. That's not our decision. And so banks are free to provide banking services to the crypto industry, to crypto companies. And banks are also free to conduct crypto activities as long as they do so in a way that is, protective of safety and soundness.
No question about it. It's getting ready to be a whole new day out here in this digital asset space, ladies and gentlemen. And that's really where I want everybody to just start really allowing your mind to go, is what this space starts to look like when every bank in the world is offering crypto services and stable coins also. Think about it when crypto exchanges start to offer tokenized stocks. Think about it when crypto exchanges start to offer checking accounts, right? This is all coming. The blending of all of this technology and innovation into traditional finance, that is coming. And this market will never look the same again. No question about it. And then here is a great little clip here. Shout out to Scott Melker, who's been crushing it in this space. And I love that Scott will also cover XRP news quite fairly, I don't mind saying. So I do appreciate that from Scott. But I want you to listen to this quick clip that he has with the New York City Mayor, Eric Johnson, I believe it is. Take a listen.
If someone pays their taxes or their parking tickets and all those things in Bitcoin, does that mean that we can get the city to hold it?
We would love to do that, you know. But it's also using this whole technology, our blockchains. There's no reason we cannot have our birth certificates, our death certificates, our liens. Well, it is so much easier to use this technology of even blockchain that we have not embraced at the level that we should be embracing, and that's our goal of showing how this technology moves us forward.
And interestingly enough, that the things that he mentioned, tokenizing deeds, titles, and things of that nature, that's not something you would do on Bitcoin's network. So that's a different conversation. And I bring that up not to slight the Bitcoin conversation. I bring it up because it's a multi-chain world after all, right? I mean, we know how this goes. There's going to be multiple chains out here that are all working together, just like the internet works today. You have file translation protocol, you have high-tech translation protocol for websites, right? You have SMTP for email. All these different protocols add up to the experience, the one experience we have on the internet. And we're about to see more protocols brought into the space that change this experience online to be able to move value the way we've been able to move information. It's quite remarkable. And multiple altcoins are going to do very well once the market gets clear rules to the road with passed and signed legislation into law. Here we see Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev here. Take a listen to what he says is coming.
I do think that crypto itself, there's two ways to look at it. One is a tradable asset like options, futures, and equities. The other is as a fundamental underlying technology.
Right.
And in the second lens, it's the next stage in evolution. We've gone from, paper and pencil, filing cabinet-based financial services to mainframe to on-premise, and then more recently cloud. Now, crypto is the next stage in that, where a lot of the business logic that we've required businesses to actually build is now shared infrastructure. So exchanges, lending pools, payment processors, all these things are replaced by software. So I think in the future, crypto technology will power trading and all sorts of financial services, including trading in stocks and other TradFi assets. So the two will fully merge. I do think that
there
crypto
you have
itself,
it right there. So the two will fully merge. Yes, it will. And what do we know? We've been covering it since 2022 when, yes, Gary Gensler and his team at the SEC voted for such measures indeed, like using distributed ledger technology for T+1 and T+0 settlement time, and then vote unanimously for it.
The ever-increasing pace of advancements in technology, including distributed ledger technology, further shortening the standard settlement cycle in the near future may be both desirable and feasible. Indeed, some such efforts are already underway.
That's their soft way of telling you that we're working on it in 22. And then we have the vote from everyone, unanimously.
On the division's recommendations to amend the Securities Exchange Act on clearing and settling.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, the recommendation is approved unanimously.
Isn't that interesting? Approved unanimously back in 22. And isn't it interesting that we find out when it comes to clearing and settlement that Ripple just recently acquired Hidden Road, which settles over $3 trillion a year. They've also been cited by DTCC as one of the protocols that will be used to help affect clearing and settlement with them as well, settling over $2 quadrillion a year. Think of it. Vlad's got it right. The infrastructure is the bigger play here. Just trading crypto as a speculative asset is a very small piece of the pie. The larger part of the pie is tokenizing the rest of the world's economy and value. Meanwhile, we see here, Chapter, the Kenyan social commerce platform, has announced a significant expansion into 11 new African countries. 11 new African countries. Not cities, countries. Through a strategic partnership with fintech giant Flutterwave, which is a Ripple partner. How about that one? Shout out to Roth Comment for that. And this is a reminder here, MasterCard partners with Chainlink to enable billions of cardholders to purchase crypto directly on chain. We already know that MasterCard is partnered with Ripple as well, We've heard the senior VP say it. I've played the clip a million times. We don't need to do it again today, but we're connected there too. Again, it's a multi-chain world after all, right? It's not going to be one chain. I love it. I'm super happy for Chainlink. I'm super happy for Ripple. I'm super happy for MasterCard. And after just 3 days of trading on the Toronto Stock Exchange, the 3IQ XRP ETF with the ticker XRPQ has gotten $32 million in Canadian dollars in assets under management, making it Canada's largest XRP-focused exchange-traded fund. Well, what's it going to look like when we get the 17 to 20 spot ETFs approved here in the United States? Think about the amount of money. JP Morgan, I believe, has said $8 billion expected in ETF flows and draws, right, on XRP. 8 billion? That's amazing, that number. And look, they're setting records already here in just 72 hours. And then what do we see here? The CME reports that XRP has become one of the most closely watched crypto assets since the launch of its futures on May 19th. You can see contracts traded over 24,000, almost 25,000, at over 500,000 in volume, 542 plus million, and 45% volume from outside the United States. How about that? You know, the demand for this asset is just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And lo and behold, then these articles start popping up. XRP supply shock looming as top exchanges like Binance and others see a massive $12.4 billion plus drop in XRP reserves. $12.4 billion plus drop in XRP reserves. Here's a look at Upbit and Binance XRP exchange reserves. What's happening here, says Mr. Zoom? I say possibly the Shane Ellis theory in slow motion lock in. Look at the sharp cliff, that fall off. Look at that. Look at this. What is going on here? But wait, there's more, right? It looks like the Shane Ellis theory and things are drying up. Well, how could they be drying up? Well, if you remember, we just witnessed Ripple's XRP treasury adoption with corporates tops 1 billion across just 8 different firms. You see how quickly this can take place? Digital Trident, 500 million. Weebus, 300 million. Vivo Power, 121 million. Wellgistics, 50 million. Hyperscale, 10. Worksport, 5. BC Bud, 250K. Digital Comms, 225K. Hundreds of companies will be launching XRP corporate treasuries in 25 and beyond. This is only the beginning. This is exactly spot on. This is what the Shane Ellis theory looks like to me at my house. Now imagine how much more in billions will be drawn off when we see the 17 to 20 XRP ETFs approved. We're already seeing $1 billion just with 10 companies or 8 companies. Sorry, 8. 8 have done $1 billion. So if we just figure $1 billion for every 8, my goodness, I mean, there won't be any XRP left except to fight over the stuff that we're all holding, isn't it? And then sprinkle in whether it's the ETFs, corporate treasuries, or what I believe will soon be U.S. digital asset bond issuance by the U.S. Treasury for XRP bonds and others. Imagine the demand for those. Think of it for a moment. And then at the same time, we know that the stage is being set. The legislation's being moved on quickly, I might add. You're going to want to see video number 2 today. And then everybody's going to be able to use this for payments and settlement and clearing as well. Okay. I say bring it on. I like the way that this is taking shape, ladies and gentlemen. We have a good portion of the asset being sucked off of the market just for corporate treasuries today, $1 billion plus. Isn't it? Factor in everything else, and I tell you what I see taking place is the Shane Ellis theory in slow motion. And I imagine as it dawns on the rest of the markets, as this takes place, things will become more accelerated over time. Because remember, people that need to do clearing and settlement and payments need to make those every day, which means they'll need as much XRP as they can possibly get before the price gets out of control. Ed Greg Crypto says here, why 1750 is simple yet powerful target. He says, looking back at 2021 cycle, many underestimate XRP's massive pumps, but the numbers tell a different story. By simply examining the percentage moves from various pumps in relation to exponential moving average, the projected target for XRP is approximately 1750. How about that? And here you can see the different jumps that he's seen over the years, right? This is remarkable. Imagine us hitting 1750 this cycle. Imagine us hitting even more, 40 plus even. Look, I say the sky's the limit. What will determine these things is obviously getting the legislation passed, signed into law, so there's no more question. Everyone knows that they can use it and there's no more gray area. That has to be absolutely paramount. That has to happen. Then we need to see how fast the adoption takes place. How quickly do they implement and scale the use of assets like stable coins and other assets like XRP, XLM, and others? That's really all we're down to at this point, and the legislation is what we need first. Listen, we're going into the Freedom Zone. I hope you will join us. We're going to skip around today. We're going to talk about the Rothschilds family. Oh, boy. Well, you're going to want that, and you're going to want the other things that we have for you today, which I think you will like. We're also going to talk more about Ripple and Circle, and we're also going to talk a little bit about is it aliens and aircraft, UFOs? What in the world's going on here? You know what? It's kind of funny because this is coming from a place like governments that are suggesting this stuff is no longer conjecture. It is very real. And it may be the next thing we have to pay attention or could be concerned about. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. I hope you'll join us inside. Come on in. All right.